Hey friend, welcome back to another episode. I am so thrilled for you to see this interview I did with my past Square Secrets business student, Lindsay Delong. Lindsay killed it. Within just a couple years, she made her way from having no web design experience in the past to building the most incredible, unique web design business, charging $11,497 a project. Yes. 11 and a half grand a project. She is doing so well. She is booked out months in advance, and her story is so interesting, especially when she tells you about exactly what it is that she's creating for her clients. It's not really just a website, kind of like a website and a whole business for them. It is so great. So I'll give it over to Lindsay.
All right. Lindsay, tell me all about the background. Tell me about what you were doing before you became a website designer and how did it pop into your brain that like maybe I want to be a website designer now?
So I was the managing editor of a wellness publication here in Southern California. We had a bunch of writers working for us, freelance, and we were sold in Urban Outfitters. And, I've just been a journalist forever, but I was the managing editor. So I was the one that was editing all the articles and then uploading them. And so then I got interested in web design. That was on a WordPress site. But then we ended up launching a second publication, and we launched it on Squarespace, and that was called Laguna Beach Living, because we were like, well, we know how to launch a publication. Why don't we do it in Laguna Beach? So we launched it, and that was on Squarespace. And so, just kind of navigating the back end of Squarespace was interesting. And then I started getting target marketed because Facebook knows what you're thinking. So I came across your course. I came across Promise Tangemans. And then I just started I got on your email list, and then I was like, oh my gosh, I love her. And I just, at the time I was like, oh man, I want to do Square Secrets and I want to do Square Business, but I was worried about that investment because I've never spent, I went to college for 4 years. It was an expensive college, but I've never spent that kind of money on an online course. So I was hesitant about it, but it was just immediately, oh my God, from the first video, I was like, this is so helpful. I loved your teaching style. I loved how classy you are and clean, and how, the modules and the video and then the documents that you give and the PDFs that you can download, everything was just so streamlined and professional. And I was like, oh my God. So became a huge fan. And then that kind of just led me down this road of really getting involved with Squarespace.
Amazing. I guess when you took the course, if you bought the bundle of both, then you were thinking, I want to be a website designer. So did you have ideas of leaving the full-time job and becoming a website designer at that point? Or was that just a dream? Or
that was a dream. Yeah. So I had no plans of leaving the magazine job, but I was like, well, if I could design some websites on the side, and I'm all about that bundle deal. If there's any sort of bundle type of discount, I'm like, oh, well, it's a better investment to do the bundle. So I did that. And then I think I actually took Square Business first, because that's the one I was really, I really wanted to learn how to scale it and make it into something. And so I started just doing design for people that were in close proximity to me. My first client was a tax accountant in the South Bay. She was a friend of a friend. And so I've never met her, but she it was literally 3 days after I started this course, and I had told people that I was doing it, and then they were like, oh, my friend needs a web. So I was like, oh God, okay. And so I did it, and I just really loved it. From the sales call template, I went through it, or hi, how are you, what how's the weather up in the South Bay, which is an hour away. But I just really liked your templates that you gave, that was minute by minute, this is what you talk about in the sales call, and just made me really feel a lot more confident and what I had to offer. And I already knew how to design a website. Like I've been doing it like for a while, but like not like to the level where I felt comfortable offering it on my own. But Square Business just really helped me scale that and get confidence that I needed for stuff that I wasn't familiar with. I wasn't familiar with getting on a sales call. I was familiar with like telling writers when to get their articles in and why they are late. Like I wasn't familiar with pitching myself. So yeah, it helped.
Good. I'm so glad to hear it. So it sounds like you went into paid projects right away. Was there any like free clients that you did, or you just went straight into like paid projects?
Because I had that first paid project right at the beginning, I was able to get paid projects right off the bat. I wasn't charging a lot, like not near as what I am charging now, but you know, I had to like play with prices and like raise them incrementally as I got better and more confident.
And then can you talk about what were you charging at the beginning versus what are you charging now?
For like the general web design, I think that first one was like $1,500 because I just was like, oh, okay, 1,500. And then like I charged her some add-ons because she also wanted blogs. I'm a journalist, so I can charge a lot for a blog. So I ended up getting probably 3,000 that first one, just because I charged a lot for my blog articles as well. Now it's a totally different ball game. I have a couple different packages because I've created like my own like kind of brand.
I want to talk to you about that in a second. Yeah, that's so interesting.
So I have like for my general web design packages, I have one that will take me not that long, less than a week, and that starts at 3,200, but it's just for the most basic website. But if you want any add-on, a shop page, you know, it will be this much more. And so it ends up being around $5,000, depending what you want, if you want blog articles or whatever. And then I have the full kit and caboodle package, and that one starts at 6,000. And then that one comes with a bit more stuff. But then I do have like all these add-ons. If you want an email signature, if you want a media kit, if you want blog articles, if you want copy, if you want photos. So like I have all this extra stuff that can like make the price go up. So
amazing. Okay. And then you have something super unique and super different than you offer. Can you talk about what that is and how much that costs for someone to work with you on that?
Yeah, so I have created a business called the City Living Network because I am the editor-in-chief of Laguna Beach Living. And Laguna Beach Living is a city-specific publication highlighting the best of Laguna. That's why I learned Squarespace. When I took that over, I wanted to make a beautiful website. I wanted to make a wonderful place that like I could feature local small businesses. And now it's just become such a loved publication in Laguna and trusted. Yeah, I was working on that. We're like figuring out how to make a media kit, how to get consistent blog articles, how to like do all the back end stuff as Squarespace. And then I started getting reached out by women in other cities that were like, oh my God, like I want you to teach me what you do in my city. And so the first one was Lexington, Kentucky. Like I have never even been there. And she reached out and was like, I love what you're doing with Laguna Beach Living. Can we recreate that in Lexington? And I was like, well, okay, this, you know, that's way more than just a web design. So I was like, well, what I'll do for you is I will build you the website. I'll make you the first 10 blog articles because you can't have a city specific website without the content. So I'll come up with the first 10 blog articles, and then I'll make you a beautiful media kit. I'll teach you how to get advertisers. I will set you up a Pinterest page, set you up a TikTok, just like everything in 30 days, ready to go business that I'm just like, here you go in 30 days. Yeah.
Amazing. That is such a fantastic idea. Like, it's so incredible. You take like all of your past experience and you just turned it into one thing. And so many people are like, oh, like, I don't know what my business idea is going to be. This one kind of like came together in a way that this woman just came to. It was like, I love that you created this in Laguna. Like, how can you help me do it here? And it was amazing that you had all the skills to offer that together. And then can you talk about what you're charging for that now?
Yeah. So that package is $11,497. It's 30-day process. So in 30 days, you have it launched and ready to go. You know, we launched Lexington in January, and then Denver and then San Diego. I just finished Prescott, Arizona yesterday, started Salt Lake City today. And then next month I have Wilmington, North Carolina, and then I have Long Beach, and then I have Austin. So it's like all over.
So you have the next like 4 months are booked out with projects already.
Yes. So it's been a blast. I love it because I just like love being able to, work with these women, teach them my dream job. It's my dream job. Like I've always wanted to have a city specific publication. I always wanted to have my own publication. I remember I bought the domain name back in like 2003 or something, back when it was a huge thing for redheads are going extinct. And I remember I bought the domain name createaredhead.com, and I was going to create like a redhead website and to save the species. And I just didn't know how. I didn't know how to build a website. I didn't know how to get advertisers. I didn't know how to get writers that would write for free or write for exposure or write for cheap. I had no idea how to find a photographer, how to get interns. So I've just bundled this into this package for people that want a ready to go website and they don't want to learn how to be a web designer. They want it just handed to them. And then I create a video and I teach you how to work the back end. Don't teach you how to do the major shape shifting of Squarespace. I teach you how to upload a blog. I teach you how to maintain the website, and most importantly, I teach you how to monetize the website.
Yeah, so, amazing. This story is just so unbelievable. Can you also talk about, people are probably sitting there and they're thinking well, how long did that take? Can you talk about when did you start taking Square Secrets business until you got set up as a website designer, until you got set up running this other $11,500 package that you're doing now on the City Living Network?
I can't remember the exact time, but I think I probably took Square Secrets and Square Business in June of 2020. The magazine job was changing big time because of the pandemic. So I was working from home, and that's when I was really starting to work on Laguna Beach Living a lot more. And I had actually just taken over Laguna Beach Living as editor-in-chief. So I was okay, I need to really concentrate on learning Squarespace. So I took that Squarespace business course and Squarespace Secrets, and then I spent the rest of 2020 basically going through the course, figuring out how to make this a successful business on my own, because that magazine job was cutting my pay in a big way. I was this is going to be my new job. I'm going to be a web designer. I'm going to take Laguna Beach Living and really make it popular. Concentrated on that for 2020. My first media kit that I made myself was so ugly. It was I can't even believe that I got an ad from it. But, I had to learn how to design stuff. I really learned a lot. And so then 2021, I, started getting a lot of advertisements with Laguna Beach Living. And then that's when I was also, doing side projects for my web design. And then I just really got comfortable doing web design. The girl from Lexington reached out about September of 2021. And then that's when I was okay, well, I need to now make a course about everything to do. And so I spent the last couple months of 2021 actually creating a 9-module course that walks you through everything. So once we do a City Living package together, I make the website for you, get the launch articles, and then I make this customized course with videos customized to your city, and then I give it to you. So in that 30 days, 2 weeks of it are me designing, and then 2 weeks of it are me helping you go through this course. It was a process of time that it took, but once I got the course ready to go, the idea of the course, now it's very doable for me to do these packages in 30 days. Eventually I would like to do 2 cities a month rather than 1 city a month. I mean, eventually I'd like to have a whole
team.
Can
get there. Yeah. I mean, 20 grand in a month, incredible goals. That's unreal.
Yeah. There's a lot of cities out there in the world.
A lot of cities.
Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah.
Amazing. So all in all, it took you around-ish like 2 years to go from like knew nothing about being a website designer to charging like $11,000 per project. That is so good.
Yeah. 11,497.
11,497. Yeah.
And I keep saying that prices are going to go up incrementally. Like I was thinking I was going to raise it $500 every city I sold, but I don't want to make it too high of a price point that a normal person that isn't able to do it. Like this is definitely an investment, but it's an investment that like will make you a return on investment, like your ROI pretty quickly if you actually take it seriously. Like my Lexington girl sold her first ad and it was a $3,000 ad for a laundromat in Lexington. I mean, like who would have thought, but she's like killing it. Now everyone's going to this laundromat. Like,
that's so great. And I mean, just so incredible what you've done. And I feel like that's the difference. Like what you've done here is like, okay, yes, you're still a website designer. Like you build in the website and everything, but you kind of like created, we're like, okay, I create you a website and then I kind of create you an entire business that you can then like buy, which is, I mean, you're delivering much more than like just a website for sure.
You know, I make them their branding. I make them their logo, like not like an elaborate logo, like a word mark logo that like looks pretty. People like charge for a logo or for a copy for their website. They charge like $6,000 or I mean, some people charge $10,000. So I'm like giving you this bundle that's very still affordable, but it has
done for your business. Thinking back to before you became a website designer, did you have any idea that you could be running a business like this? Because I mean, you didn't have really like web design experience before, like you didn't have a degree in it or anything. Do you think you would have believed back then you could do it now? Or
I mean, I thought like my major in college was journalism. So like I was like, I'm gonna like be a writer for magazines. And I didn't really like, I guess, dream bigger. Like I was just like, I want to write for like travel magazines and I want to go on press trips. And like that was the ultimate goal. But then when I, you know, and I always wanted to like have my own publication, but I didn't know how. And so then once I like realized with Laguna Beach Living, like, hey, I can get invited on like amazing press trips that the same people are getting invited on that work at like Travel and Leisure and like the LA Times. Like I'm going on those same exact press trips. It's just amazing. And I don't have to have a boss. I'm my own boss. If I want to take Wednesday off, I can. I mean, I flew to Tennessee last weekend because the Lexington girl had her first official like media fam press trip. And I was like, well, I want to go. So I flew out there. We went kayaking. We did all this fun stuff. And I was just like her plus one, but like, it's amazing, you know? Yeah,
that's so good. You should be so proud of yourself. Honestly, I can't even tell you. Like what you created is so unique and so interesting. I'm so proud. And also, you also crossed the line and joined into the 100K club of having passed $100,000 in your business. So also, congratulations for that. So exciting. One question which people want to know is like, what does it look like to be your own boss? You talked about the freedom to go places. That's amazing. What does it actually look like every day for you? Like, are you working 8 hours a day? What does it look like from like the start to the finish of your day now?
I'm a fan of structure. I don't always do it, but like I wake up pretty early because I'm like excited. Yesterday, I got invited to a press trip up in Santa Ynez Valley, which is for 3 days, and I get to go horseback riding. And like, that was just random yesterday, you know? And like, I got invited on like an Alaska cruise, and it's just like so every day is so different. And like, you never know, like who's going to like pop in your email inbox and be like, I need a website about this, or I want to like highlight my city here in London or wherever, you know? So it's just exciting to be able to wake up and, you know, not know really like what kind of thing is going to happen. But on a typical day, I'll wake up pretty early, like check my email. am kind of like addicted to Instagram, need to like work on that. But like I'll like check my messages and my DMs because Laguna Beach Living is very like we have a following on Instagram. So I'll do that. You know, reels are important. So I'll like make a reel. If I have like an interview in Laguna, I'll go down there, or like a photo shoot. Sitting in front of my computer varies by the day. Like if I'm going to be designing the part of the website, like, you know, that's going to take me a week of sitting at my desk for 5 hours each day. But like I said, it's probably just 2 weeks out of the month that I'm actually designing the website for the City Living Network. And then it just depends if I have other clients, you know, on the side, because I'll still take clients on the side, but like usually only ones that I'm really interested in.
So it sounds like, I mean, a huge part of your day, like you have, even as you're building these like huge websites for people, you do still have time to go and be doing other like passions and stuff. Like it's not like this, even though you're making 11 grand a website, like it's not like it's completely taking over your life and it's just like 24/7 work. You have a lot of free time still.
Yes, I do. That's a huge part of it that I need. I've never had a 9-to-5 job. Like I'm not the type of person that can do it. When I graduated college, I became a flight attendant because I was like, I need something to pay my bills because writing doesn't, because I was writing for every publication in Southern California for free, just to get my name out there. And so I've never had a 9-to-5 job. I like need to like be able to like fly somewhere on a whim, or, you know, go do something in the middle of the day. Like I need that kind of freedom. And so I've just really loved that Laguna Beach Living and web design and City Living Network have provided me this opportunity to work as much or as little as I want. And still, like, as long as I book one city a month, which I've been doing, I mean, I can live off of that. And then like all the extra is just extra, you know, like, I mean, yeah, like there's days where I'm like, holy crap, I just got paid like $16,000 like in a day. But I mean, it's because they're like prepaying or whatever.
Yeah.
Like still, it's like, wow. Like
still, it's amazing when that hits your bank account. I mean,
yeah.
Could you have imagined this, like when you were working a 9-to-5 versus what you are now? Could you have imagined that like 16,000 dropping in your bank account would be possible?
No, well, I've never worked a 9-to-5, but like when I was a flight attendant,
true,
like flight attending, like working for, I think I started at like $17 an hour, and that's a flight hour. Like you only get paid when you're in the air, but like flight attendants do not get paid that much. But yeah, I like that. Like my first year being a flight attendant, I probably made $19,000 my first year, like for the full year. Yeah. So now when I'm like, oh God, like it's just crazy to be like, holy crap, like I just sent out proposals for this much, or I just like had this much clear my bank account from like, whether it's one project or a couple projects. It's just like mind blowing that like when I was 24-year-old Lindsay worked for a year for that.
Yeah. I think about that too, honestly. I think about that a lot. Okay, one thing which I would love to know from you is talk about how you're landing clients or finding clients, or how are they finding you?
Yeah. So right now it's basically been either word of mouth or people that already follow me or Laguna Beach Living on Instagram. So I would like to eventually have a huge Pinterest following where I'm getting 1 million views. I did just hire a Pinterest girl, so I'm working towards that. But right now it's been word of mouth or people that find me on Instagram. Or, I mean, like I had a reel, the City Living Network's Instagram is super tiny, but like reels reach a lot of people. I had a reel that I did last month and it got like me a phone call with a girl from Istanbul, and she was thinking about doing it. The reach for like Instagram or TikTok is huge. And so like I am concentrating, I need to be a bit better at posting more TikToks and reels. I mean, I had a TikTok last month for Laguna Beach Living that got 1.7 million views. It was like a 6-second video of like the Laguna Beach seniors paddling out like for their senior celebration. 1.7 million. So anyways, it's different. Like Laguna Beach Living has a lot of followers on Instagram, but like those people aren't really my ideal clients for City Living Network, because I don't want more people to do one in Laguna. I already have it in Laguna. But like the Lexington girl just found me because she was looking originally, she's a wedding photographer, and she was wanting to update her wedding photographer website. So she found me as like a web designer. And so our first phone call was actually about like me rebranding her wedding photographer site. And then we became friends. And then she started following me. And then she was like, wait a second, I want to start like Lexington Living rather than continuing to be a wedding photographer, because she was kind of burnt out about it. So, and then the other clients that I've gotten have been, either like writers that used to write for me back when I was at the magazine, or, just people that have followed me on Instagram and are like, whoa, I want to like go on this press trip, or I want to like go ride horses on the beach and on a work day, like showing my life and my lifestyle, I think really has a lot to do with who books me for City Living clients, because those are the people that are like, I want to make a change and I want a more exciting, fun life than, they're just sitting at a computer all day. But I just think that it's been awesome to reach out like that. But there's always ways that I could get better.
I mean, if you're booked out months in advance, I think you're doing pretty well. So like, I wouldn't be too worried.
Yeah. But I want more cities. I want to take over all the cities.
All the cities. Can you share any like encouraging words for someone who wants to do something like you've done, like transition out of maybe like writing or journalism and into website design? What would you say to that person who's kind of wanting to do it, but is nervous to do it?
Yeah, so I think taking like a online course is huge. Like I learned so much from yours. So, and I've taken some other courses before, but I feel like I've learned the most from. So I would say, I mean, it's so crazy to think that you go to college for 4 years, and I feel like I just made like a little meme on TikTok or whatever, but I was like, went to college for 4 years, but learned everything I needed to know with my career from an online course, like in like, a month or in 2 days, 2 weekends or whatever, it's just so crazy that you can like spend $30,000 a year on a year of college, but yeah, you can like, buy a course for $1,500 or $11,000, and it will like change your life. Like you don't need to go to college for 4 years anymore. I don't think. I don't know. I mean, don't take my advice, but anyone listening. But like I honestly think if I could do it over, I would have probably just started like in the web design industry, and getting my feet wet and getting experience rather than going to college. I really feel like I learned more from like an online course than I did in 4 years of college. I had fun in college. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't flat.
I say the same thing. I'm like, honestly, so I finished university with like $45,000 of student debt. Yeah. And then I started my web design business and paid it off real fast in like a year and a half. And even though I never used my degrees and ended up just doing something on the internet, I was like, it was worth it for the party for 4 years. Like actually, no, 6 years. I did a master's. So I mean, it was good for other things, the money I spent there, but not necessarily my job. But yeah,
but I think that like honestly, like someone that's looking to get into a career that they can like be their own boss, they could easily get to $10,000 months if they spend the same amount of time that they're spending at college. They really take it seriously. They buy an online course and they take it seriously, like they could get there.
What would you say to someone who's on the fence about taking one of my courses? Are they legit? Are they good? What's your thoughts?
Oh my God, of course. Yes, I love them so much. You are so professional. I've learned so much from them. They're clean, beautifully designed. Like I could go through the courses and just I remember I would just be like taking notes, because everything that you say is like, oh my God, I haven't thought of that. And like even simple stuff, like how to have a sales call. Like I didn't know, you start your sales call. I keep mentioning this, but like your sales call template is literally like 20 minutes, but like every minute you're going through where you should be and what you should be like covering. It's cool. I like it.
Oh, Lindsay, I just want to say congratulations. I think you have nailed something unbelievable, so unique, so creative, and the fact that it brings you so much joy, I am just absolutely thrilled for you. And I'm always so pleased when I see students who like take the courses, they do all the things, and then they come out with the most unbelievable businesses. And yeah, I should just be so proud that you booked yourself so far in advance and everything. I'm always honored when I see students go out and do as well as you have. So thank you.
I'm so excited to talk with you and to share. Thank you for having me on.
I hope you enjoyed the interview. Isn't she so wonderful? If you enjoyed that video, I have something for you. If you're watching this video right when it goes live, very soon, I'm going to be hosting again my ever popular Profitable and Productive Web Designer Bootcamp, a free bootcamp inside of a Facebook group. And I'll teach you all the basics that you need to know about starting your own web design business. And I'm going to have some fantastic students. They, just like Lindsay, will share things like how they're booking out their businesses, how they're finding clients, how they're landing these huge projects. So if you want to learn from me and some of my most successful students, then definitely click the link in the description below, and that's where you can find all you need to know about registering for the Profitable and Productive Web Designer Bootcamp. We do it live. We don't get to do it often. If you're watching this right when the video goes live, go check it out right now because it doesn't come around often.